Well, hello everybody. This is Dr. Troy Dukowitz of the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. Today's topic is this. There's no crying in basketball. So obviously that is a spoof off of Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own saying there's no crying in baseball. But here I am, folks, just 2 days removed from being able to participate in a basketball practice for Wyatt. A little back end here. He is playing basketball in a league called Upward Sports. We absolutely love it. We shared it with kids at his school, with parents at his school, and even some of Wyatt's friends have moved over to go through this program. And they had asked for coaches, and I'd coached once before soccer, which just went horribly well. And I don't mean that in a good way. It went horrible. And I learned from it, and it was fun. I had a lot of fun. But when it came to basketball, and it's a sport that I love, I just wasn't feeling it. For some reason, I just wasn't feeling it. I know I wanted to be at the games. I'm not going to miss a game. I won't miss a practice. I'll be there front and center. And I'm going to do whatever I can to help. But yet I sat on the sidelines saying, man, why didn't I just do this? And it's just one of those things that I just really hadn't thought about me coaching it, quite frankly. And they needed a volunteer coach to help out for the first game of the season. Second game of the season. First one was canceled due to snow. So I show up at this game, and I have an absolute blast. So much so, even one of the dads that I know from Wyatt School is like, dude, you look like you're having so much fun. I was like, yeah, I was really in my happy place. Wyatt scored a basket that day. He wanted to sit next to me on the bench, and I still had to make sure he sat by his team, but I sat next to him on the bench, and it was just super cool, man, to be able to be there and be a part of it and go in the locker room and be a coach on this team. And I realized in that moment, even on that day, it's like, even though it's been years and years and years since I played basketball, I still know what's going on. And I still know how to coach a game like that because I really understand it. And so that Monday night rolled along, and I went up to the coach, and I was like, look, man, if you guys need more help, I'm here to help. To which he immediately responded like, yes, please. You can never have enough coaches with these guys. And I immediately got involved. We were doing drills, defensive drills, where, we're 7-year-old kids, right? But, your hands out, wide stance, and you're kind of shuffling your feet. And I shuffled with every single kid, looking them in the eyes, telling them they're doing a good job, and I shuffled cone to cone to cone, tell them, okay, run to coach, and they'd run to the other coach. And then Wyatt came up, who had just the biggest, most beautiful smile on his face. And he's shuffling over to Daddy, and he's just smiling the whole time, and I'm smiling, and I'm saying, good job, bud, way to go, make sure you go here. So trying to coach, but really trying to, more so focusing on that moment of just being with him. And we get to the end of the drill, and instead of running to coach, he just jumped into my arms and gave me a big hug. And then he looked at me with a smile on his face, I love you, Daddy, and he took off and ran to the coach. The coach saw it. When the coach saw it, he put his fist out, and he's like, right on, Wyatt, give me a fist bump, buddy. And he gave him a fist bump. And at first when it happened, I remember thinking, oh my God, this coach is going to be like, what did I do? What did I bring into my team? This guy? And so there was that moment where I actually did think, I didn't care what the kids thought. I was like, oh my gosh, what is he going to think as a coach, and what are other parents thinking? And then Wyatt went and he did it again. And then he did it again. And then he missed the time, and you can tell he was almost like out of sorts when he missed it. And then he did it again. He probably did it 4 out of 5 times or 5 out of 6 times. And each time I just loved it. I was so thankful for it. I was so thankful that he did it, and thankful that he wants me to be there, and thankful that he wants me to coach, and thankful that I'm a part of it. And at the end of the night, we all go back into a little classroom. We sit and we talk, and the coach says, there's 2 things that really stand out for me tonight. And he said, and one of them is there's a child here who hugged his daddy in the middle of practice, and it was just the coolest thing to see. And he goes, I'll remember that weeks from now. I won't remember anything else about this practice, but I'll remember that. And I'll also remember another little boy, Bryson, who had scored a basket, and just his smile was so beautiful just from ear to ear. Bryson was so proud. He should have been. And he scored probably his first basket that I've seen him score. So and he's like, I'll remember those 2 things. And at the end of practice, he even said to me, he's like, dude, that was so cool. He's like, it's just those are the moments, right? That's why we do it, is to see those moments. And it was really cool because I got a heartfelt moment with the coach. I wasn't sure really about his style when I first saw him. And then I really started seeing his heart come out. And it was a cool conversation that I had. And I go and I hop in the car and I drive home, and I get to share with Leah what had happened. And yet my mind still goes to that place. It's a beautiful moment that I got to share with my son. So proud of him. He had a great practice. And I just see him growing every week. And as I sat and thought about the situation, I thought about the night, I thought, it's so funny because I still went to that place. And you know the place. If you're listening to the story, you heard the place. I was still worried about what everybody was going to think. Now, it was a fleeting thought. Years ago, I would have held on to this stuff and been like, no, you need to get back into the game. Come on, bud, stop. We don't hug at practice. And I would have been like pushing him along, like, no, bud, you need to get going. But that's not the man that I am today. The man that I am today, it's like, what's wrong with that? In fact, we need more of that in this world. We need more love in this world. We need more affection in this world. We need more parents connecting with their kids. And you don't have to agree. You don't have to be the father or the mother who's going to hug your kid in the middle of a basketball floor. You don't have to be that person. But I would ask you to consider what would happen to the dynamics of our relationships if we were open to it. What would happen to our connection to our children and to our spouses and significant others if we were open to it. If we were open to expressing ourselves just a little bit more than we already do. How would that change the energy and dynamics of homes and lives? The very fact that he did that said that for me was just how much he loves me and honors me, and he just wanted me to know in that moment how excited he was that I was there. And for me, it was such a gift. Folks, it was such a gift to be in that moment with my son. And as I share it with you with tears in my eyes, I can see the moment, I can see the smile, I can feel the hug. So when you look at your life, and it's another one of these topics of looking at balance, looking at our relationships, where is it in your life, in relationships, where you're still worrying about what other people are going to think instead of concerning yourself with the loves that are around you and taking care of them and making sure that they know how you feel, not what other people think. And you teach them to be able to express themselves for who they are and honor who they are and honor each other. Where is it in your life that maybe you're worried, maybe it's in your health, maybe it's in your business, that you're worried about what other people are going to think if you go do a video about your business? Or maybe if you go and you want to start teaching when it comes to exercise. I don't know where it is for you, but where in your life are you worried about what other people think and you're allowing it to paralyze you from taking action? Whereas in reality, if you would just step up and share your heart and share your vision and just share from that place, you can create greater connectivity to the people who truly matter in your life, because the ones who don't get it are probably not the ones you want in your circle in the first place. So just sit back today and take a look at this and how you can use this in your life and stop worrying about what others are thinking and go for greater connection in your life. That's all I've got for you here today, folks. Hey, if you haven't already, please head on over to iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher and subscribe, rate, and review the Commit and Go podcast. Also, head on over to commitandgo.com where you get information about me, yours truly, Dr. Troy Dukowitz, and what we do for live programs, online programs, and other happenings throughout the course of the year. That's all I've got for you here today. I am Dr. Troy Dukowitz. This has been the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action to create big-ass results in your life and business. We'll hear you next time.